Zoom out. Yes. So, hello again. Didn't really expect to be speaking to you again quite so soon, but it turned out to be 2 Sundays in a row where the weather was acceptably sunny and not raining and thundery and things. So, I'm Tim, and you know all this. It's theoretically day 2 of week 8 of my Southwest Coast Path Challenge, how to murder feet thing. Although it does rather seem to have degenerated into a series of day trips rather than grueling week-long backpack carries. So this is Charmouth. This is where I stopped last week, in fact. It is, what is today? Today is, look, I can scroll down while still filming. If I pull down on the top there, Sunday the 29th of August, 2021. I lose track of the year. And it's the August bank holiday weekend, as you might be able to see. This is only what time is it? It's 11:24. Being mucked about with buses and parking and such like. The car has oh hello, so don't do that while I'm picking my ear. Oh, look at all those boats out there. Nice day for sailing. There's a bit of a breeze actually. I can feel it on my back, so that'll help today. Yeah. So this is Charmouth. That way, about 10 miles, is West Bay, just south of Bridport. Bridport isn't actually on the coast. West Bay is its nearest thing. And the car has eluded me again and escaped to West Bay. I have to go and walk after it again. Relatively short day today. I'll get the maps out in a bit, like usual. But I think we're looking at probably only about 10 miles today. But there's some quite up and downy stuff. There's some quite big hills here in between. I've got to make the start on that one straight away, I think. Should be good to get away from all these people. A lot of windbreaks going up, hammering in. Everyone trying to stake out their tiny little piece of private beach on the middle of a very crowded public beach. And yeah, I'm just going to crack on again. Speak to you again soon. Just like to keep away from the edge detour here, which I thoroughly approve of. And look. Viking invaders or something to Stanton St Gabriel. Probably the same person that did all those Women of Science stuff up on the gate further on the other side. Some local artist, local Women of Science. Good, alright, keep going. Alright, how about a nice slow panorama sweep while I rasp into the microphone. So this is Dorset now. I think during all the grumpiness of an inland diversionary coast path route last time, I forgot that when you get this side of Lyme Regis, it's not Devon anymore. So very strange terrain, there's lots of quite sweeping, rolling, undulating hills all over the place. Not terribly flat, long vistas, but quite interesting with the geology here. Something Jurassic, something Cretaceous. I want to say alluvial, but I think that might be more like sort of Thailand, Vietnamese delta, giant boulders sticking up out of flat marshland, that kind of thing. But it's nice though. Lends itself more to arable than no dairy. Rather than arable, yes. The one with cows. Just past some just over the brow of that hill there. Hard to plough a lot of this. It's just better to grow livestock on it, I guess. Green fields of grass and all. That's Charmouth still. Don't know if you can see, I've just come over the slight brow of a hill and you can see Lyme Regis. Tell you what, shall I finish the hill now? I've got my breath back and that family have moved on a bit. And then we'll talk more at the top. That's probably better. Oh. A bit hazy today, could just about make out Portland. Oh god, remember all that fitness I was going to do before September's hike? Nope, still haven't done it. You can see the side of the cliff here though. Sort of scree based aggregate stuff that dries very easily. And that's all collapsed down into that wooded bit. Tree growth on it, so it's a while ago, but what skiing. What is that, some kind of amphibious merpeople assault? Oh, look at that, straight across the way, love it. 1980s called, they want their hobby back. Good. Still being followed by that family. An awkward passing moment earlier. Let's keep going. A bit more room up here, me to do my thing. Bench over there, I may sit in a bit. Oh, party coming up the other way. Oh, yeah, so that's me next, that hill there, via that valley there. It looks quite rugged and unsettled. Is that the same boat? They lost their water skier somewhere. Maybe it wasn't a water skier, maybe it was a boarder. That's that one, right. Yeah. Oh. Extreme zoom. Yeah, so Dorset, first impressions. Just as hilly as Devon. Although I understand they don't express a preference for clotted cream versus jam in the ordering of scones, so who knows. I think they do have a flag. Oh god, I'm in a cloud of gnats, some of which I think might have gone on the lens. Go away. I'm not getting release forms for each of you. Lovely day though, beautiful day. August bank holiday in COVID-racked Britain. Going to Dorset is the new not catching COVID on an international flight. So yeah, it makes for quite a busy path. I'm not sure if they're doing all that. They might be doing day-to-days. I remember I'm a day packer now. Yeah, I forfeit all rights to being a hardcore real hiker or anything like that. I'm just as a lightweight as these people. Still, I think I've done my. I think my credentials are in order. Done my dues. I heard that Michael Portillo, of all people, is doing the South West Coast Path for a television series now or soon or something. Don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you know, in some ways this is clearly my footpath and everyone else should get the hell off, but also, don't know. His thing where he wears exotic blazers and sits on a train is quite a guilty pleasure of mine on the Yesterday channel. I don't think your Bradshaws is going to help you up here, mate, I'll tell you. Well, he's probably fitter than I am. I'm sure he was ex-forces or something in his early years. Interesting to see if he does it properly and all. I've seen quite a few of these celebrities doing the South West Coast Path projects come and go over the years. They tend not to do the entire 640 miles on foot continuously. They tend to have a lot of researchers and second units and interviews at nearby inland cheeseries and such like. Not me. This is all you get, I'm afraid. Oh God. So yeah, I reckon I've got 5 days left to go, but actually it's probably each day stage is going to be shorter than I'm normally used to doing, I think, because I'm day tripping, because I've got to travel each end. So like 2-hour car journey and a bit of mucking about with buses in the morning. Hey, let's get the map out. I did bring one. I'll go sit over on that bench before someone else comes along and sits on it. My bench, my path. Ugh. Yeah, that's Lyme Regis, that one over there, where the beach already looks rammed from up here. Let's try a quick zoom, see what we can see with 10 times. Yeah, it's looking pretty busy. A lot of windbreaks hammered into the sound there already. Yeah, because I'm so good with people and crowded places. Nice up here though. I got my big fluffy microphone cover on, just to help with the wind, but who knows. Right, what have we got in here? Got the map somewhere. I mean, as I've remarked many times before, it's mostly a question of just following the wooden boards with acorns on and the obvious path that's been trod into the cliff tops over hundreds of years, but sensible, reasonable thing to do to bring a map as well. So where are we? That was Charmouth, there it is. I'm already headed up here, Monarch's Way. Oh, hello. Am I not on the coast path? No, I'm sure I'm on the coast path. I think the coast path was diverted inland, but I've seen signboards up here, so I guess it's... Oh, God, there are so many flies everywhere. So, yeah. Basically, just along the tops of these hills. There's some quite big ones. That one there. And across here... down to Seatown, which is different to Seaton, confusingly enough, and then across to Lower Ype, and then down to West Bay, where my car is somewhere. So yeah, pretty uncontroversial, no massive rivers or anything. Blimey, I think people's going to be the problem today, and flies for some reason. Maybe it's me. I don't know, I'm relatively fresh. I haven't done one hill today. Let's keep moving though, otherwise they're going to eat me. So yes, I'll sit here for a little bit and then crack on. Time for a progress shot. Here we go. What have we got? We've got Coast Path Charmouth, 1.5. Contrast is terrible. Let's go the other side. Aha, Charmouth, 1.5. Yeah. And Golden Cap, 1.5, which I think is probably that big bugger hill there. Probably so called because of the yellowy coloration on its side there, exposed by the gravel and sandstone or whatever. I reckon I'm going up that bastard. Good-o. And Stone Barrow Hill over there for anyone who cares. I don't. Yeah. Right, away. There's so many people out here today. Gotta keep moving, otherwise I'm going to end up in embarrassing overtake traffic jam manoeuvres, which has to be avoided at all costs. Just had to let some traffic clear. Of course I sat down for a rest in a shade of a hedge. And of course sweating only works if there's wind, so quite unpleasant. Honestly, put that thing there. Oh, better get on with it. There might be an ice cream the other side if I'm good. Poor, look at the signage on there. It's got to be new, look at that. Yes, not quite fresh. Probably early this season, I'd say. Lovely. 2 miles to Seatown, which I think has got an ice cream shop, probably. Oh, that was steep. Made it to the top there. So quite a lot of other people. So a little panning shot. Like I'm a proper photographic person. Yeah, that's some sort of milestone waypoint height marker thing. Coast Path, oh no, it's just a mark. Charmouth 3. Guess I'll go over there somewhere for the next one then. So I think this is the highest point left on the path, maybe. Unless it gets significantly more hilly down Swanage End. Certainly moderately downhill most of the way back now. That Portland there is still quite hazy today. You can just see the start of Chesil Beach before it vanishes into the haze. We'll be covering that in some detail in a future day. Probably next day actually, whenever the next Sunday I'm out here is. I think we go to Abbots, from West Bay to Abbotsbury, which is the start of Chesil Beach itself. So yes, let's just pan back out because I can't actually see what I'm looking at. Good. See, that's the trouble with it being so busy. I mean, it's great to see so many people out here enjoying it and everything, but all the cool, picturesque places have got people sat in them. So I guess I'll just carry on. Anyway, down there is Seatown, which is not Seaton, town with a W. There's got to be some sort of beach hut thing there. Cafe, whatnot. A lot of camping down there as well. Right, let's carry on a bit. Oh, hello you. Oh, I likes a good trig point. I don't see many of them on the coast path actually, surprisingly. They tend to be inland on hills on the interior. What's your number? There we go, save that for my scrapbook. Splendid. So, it's one of these increasingly frequent, thank God I don't have to come back this way moments. It's quite steep. You know where it goes, and it goes over there and zigzags back. It's like quite a climb to get on top of it from this side. Oh, wow, look at that beach. Oh my God, it's heaving. I bet that's shingle as well, it's not even sand. Mer people invasion. Hoodlums doing donuts on the sea. So there, if you got it, why not? Lovely views from here. Sweeping, majestic Dorset coastline. To keep not saying Devon. And the hills inland. Quite bumpy sort of terrain around here. And look at that, these people really haven't got the idea about ninja camping over there. Look at that. Almost like a festival. That's just a normal campsite. I don't think it is a festival. I think the Reading Festival's happening elsewhere this weekend. I went there once. Didn't like it. Too many people. Quite shoddy camping practice too. None of those guy ropes were storm lashed. It was shocking. Right, carry on down. Yeah, still looks pretty terrifying, but crucially, it's behind me now. Been there, done that. And I'm having lots of ideas and thoughts about what to do when I finish this with my life, you know, what next bucket list thing, probably something hiking related, but I think probably one of the things I'm not going to do is the same path but backwards. Because what would be the point? I've got an extensive video documentary of the whole thing I can just watch on their YouTube. I'd rather see somewhere new and different that I've not been to before. Not face all of the, oh thank God I don't have to climb that again, things again. That would be bad. Ooh, splendid. I could do with an ice cream now. Hope they've got rum and raisin. And lemonade. Yeah, all the civilised things. Now that part of the proceedings where Tim tries to fake his agricultural upbringing. Number 37. Oats, I think. So that sort of bell shape. I reckon that's oats. Which is unusual this far south. Still, what do I know about fields? So, just coming down into Seatown anyway. Now, interestingly, this should have been the end of day one of the proposed actual week 8. That was quite a long old trip. Seaton to Seatown, but I thought that was too confusing, so I stopped at Charmouth instead. I think we're going to get a lot of this on this week because I'm kind of working off of long stay car parks and bus routes, which means I'm probably going to be under-speccing most of my day trips down here, getting less done than I normally would if I'd have been, you know, literally on the path at 7 o'clock in the morning and on the path at when the sun goes down. So I still have to drive home and things as well, and muck about with buses in the mornings. So yeah, Google. Wow, is that some wild camping there? Love it. Brassy, bold, good pitch, good views I expect. Yeah, Google thinks I can probably manage today's itinerary in about 2 hours 45 minutes. Losing my voice for some reason. Too much talking, not enough walking. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know if I can do this in like under 3 hours, and I'm not sure I want to race anyway. So I don't think Google knows about hills, or more importantly, Google doesn't know about my decrepit physiology, which is not really match fit at the moment. Mind you, give it long enough, the Omnicore will learn all of my biological data and be able to give me much more accurate estimates for my hiking trips, and then enforce them as well, I suspect. All hail the digital all-father. Oh, civilization, a mown lawn. Right, coming down into some kind of village now. Good, eh? Yeah, this is Seatown. Thought I'd stop for a spotted lunch. No lemonade, but ice cream. Orange Lucasade, an acceptable second place. I stopped for a bit of a lunch break. It's 13:39 and I'm stopping mostly just to spite Google's estimate of my arrival time. The sun's being clouded over a bit and the wind's still carrying on, so that makes it all a bit colder, which I'm finding actually quite perfect, to be honest. Don't know about the rest of these people. It's a bit they wanted the sun, but a bit of cover and a bit of wind bring the temperature down a bit. Getting quite hot on some of these hills, so good. Alright, have a stop and a munch and move on up the hill now. I suppose from the tops of that lot we might be able to see West Bay. It really is not that far today. It's like barely 10 miles, if that, maybe 7 or 8. I feel like I'm slacking a bit, but I'm sure I'll make up on further stages. It really all does depend on where the long stay car parks are. I mean, this one here is essentially the finishing point for my original day 1 of week 8, but here we are halfway through day 2, so falling behind, but my holiday, my rules, you know. There's no particular time schedule involved. I wanted to get it all done before I turn 50, so, you know, as long as I can reach Poole Harbour in the next 4 years, I think I'll be okay. Oh, good, right, I'm going to have some dinner. Speak to you again later. Parking chaos down there. It's like supervised blokes with flags and whatnot. I think they're operating a 1 in, 1 out policy at the moment. Absolutely full. And then the pub over there, there's people all queuing along the wall outside giving mobile phone numbers to a bloke with a mask and a clipboard, and I think there's probably a 1 hour waiting list for that as well. And apparently the cliffs will try to kill you. Big sign in the car park saying how loose and dangerous this grey stuff is. Let me just zoom. So, you know, quite surprised there are people with windbreaks beneath it all. Each to their own. Take my life in my hands getting this close to the edge, to be honest, but yeah. So apparently West Bay is 2 3/4 miles that way, which is, yeah, about 2 hours maybe, tops. So yeah, it might be a short day. Mind you, the clouds are coming over a fair bit. The wind's coming quite steadily from the northwest, bringing basically most of the rest of the country is obscured and being drizzled on, I expect, so might get a bit of rain today, I don't know. Weather forecast wasn't saying it was going to, but who knows. It's alright, I've got my anorak, there it is, and my waterproof legs are in the bag. I'm ready, but you know, it'd be nice if it didn't. I think I'm having the perfect day today, actually. It's been brilliant. Nice short hike, lovely scenery, I had a rum and raisin ice cream, and my hat's blowing off. It's alright, I tie it to my buttons, I use string to stop it doing that. This is not the first hat. I lost the previous version in a pub in London. That's a long story. Still. Yeah. So yeah, that's all a bit oversubscribed down there, but it is the August bank holiday weekend, so what can you expect? Right, up and away. Let's get on with it. Hello, me. I'm just taking some video evidence of it that I can appreciate when I'm in a clearer frame of mind and there's not black spots dancing in front of my eyes. Right, well, I think we've done the bulk of the climbing for today. You can see that this just sort of undulates along the top a bit up to a beacon. We'll have a proper look at that when we get there. And then after that it's just pretty much downhill all the way to West Bay, which is that bit where my car is. And what is it, 14, 18? Yeah. I don't know, 2 3/4 hours is probably a bit of pushing it, but probably 3.5 to 4 shouldn't be a problem today. Ooh, a big cloud of midges, get off me. I know, I'm leaking delicious, delicious sweat, but there's a load of cows back down there you can go and bother. I'm moving too fast for midges. In a minute. Oh, and that's drove past that on the bus on the way here. It's like a hill with a crown of trees. Probably a site of druidic power, converging ley lines, or an elven glade. Don't know. Not on the coast path, so not going to find out. Can't bother to get the map out either. Probably was a hill fort once upon a time though. They dotted these hills all over the place with those back in the olden days. Right, keep moving. I'm alright. Look, a strange wooden sign commemorating their local smuggling history. Yeah. Cotton undergarments could hide £30 of tea. Brilliant. Be proud of your history, that's the thing. Right, there's the beacon at the top there. Let's go and have a look. Part of the UK's coastal early defence warning system. State-of-the-art wooden beam buried in the ground with a cutting-edge high tensile metal basket on the top in which you can build a fire. Presumably you're stood on the top with your telescope looking out for Spanish invaders. As soon as you see one, you set fire to that, and Gondor calls for aid. All these other hilltops would have had other similar baskets on with similar attentive peasants. We would have set fire to their baskets, and eventually somebody in London would go, oh hell, the Spanish are coming. And then I don't know how you would send any kind of return acknowledgement signal using this system. So we invented radar and telephones and so on. Still, I'd like to see the Spaniard that could get past that. It doesn't see so much use nowadays, of course. Nowadays there's twice weekly sailings from Weymouth and Plymouth to Santander and Bilbao. Car ferries, 30-hour journey. Thought I'd like to try that myself one time. Be a bit of an adventure. Drive around the Pyrenees for a bit and come home. I looked it up and it's like £1,000 return or something, and suffers a lot of the similar COVID problems that international travel generally does. Still, enough waffling. Wow, look at that beach. It's not even a car park, there's a lot of caravan sites around there. Holidays. The British August bank holiday continues. Look at that, merfolk staging area. Press inland to our centres of fresh water. That's West Beach, a bit breezy up here, as you might be able to hear and see wobble. I'm going to get down and keep moving. Can't stand around too long or I'll get cold. I have no idea if you can hear this at all. Depends very much on the wind direction, but there's some kind of festival or something going on over there. And I'm hearing 1940s slow tempo lounge piano sort of drifting across the hills from there. Some sort of retro vintage festival or something. It's very much reminding me of the Fallout series of games. It's like it's coming out of my Pip-Boy or something. So, very unusual. Just majestic though. I'm having the best day. The sun's come out again. Yeah, faint 1930s swing coming from a distant hilltop. Is that the ink spots? I don't know. Don't know if you can hear that. You might have to take my word for it. Ding 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 ding. Yeah, probably not doing it justice. Very odd. Does feel like a step back in time, this landscape a little. It's getting ruined things here and there as well. Old barns and churches and things over here and there on hillsides. Sheep grazing. I imagine there's all sorts of little local festivals going on. Everyone seems determined to catch up and make the most of it. It's because of this awful COVID last year. Most of early this year as well, I suppose. Oh, where are we at with that? I haven't done a COVID update this trip. Let's see. Latest figures, I think, is about 130 died yesterday or week. I think it's daily. So, you know, which seems a lot, but, you know, against the backdrop of a population of 65 million, that's probably not horrific. Cases are higher now than they were in the bad February, but hospital admissions and deaths are pretty much flat, so everyone's thinking the vaccines worked, hurrah. But everyone's now saying, everyone's worrying about vaccine effectiveness drop-off and how soon we're going to have to get boosters and so on, probably every year for the rest of our lives. Everyone's talking about what is, you know, everyone talked about the new normal as some sort of bullshit marketing slogan back in the worst of it, but everyone's really now trying to think about what actually is normal now. Normal will be COVID jabs, boosters every year, possibly masks. A lot of masks seem to be going out of favour, but the shops and buses and things would ask you to wear one. I'm doing my best, I am, but I think I won't. I'm not sure how long I will be if I'm the only one. So yeah. I still wouldn't get on an international flight. There's still like red list and amber list countries and so on, and quarantines and whatnot, but I think everyone's settling down to just get on with it at this stage. I'll have to look up what that all was. It's too far inland to be of concern to us though. I'm going that way. Seriously, I can only imagine what that must be like to be stood 3 feet away from. Must be tricks of the wind, I assume. Allow one of a staggeringly over-spec'd PA system for such a small fate. Be Vera Lynn next. So this is Eype. E-Y-P-E. I don't even know how you pronounce it, as you can tell. Don't think it's actually on the beach, but we go down and up just at the end there. Some little rivulet probably. And then up over that hill, and I think that might be our last one, or the one beyond that. Definitely coming up on West Bay, certainly. A mile and a half now, probably. About an hour's worth of hiking to do still. Should probably put me back at the car by about 4 o'clock. Quite a short day, but an enjoyable one. Very much so. Hell, if I get back in time, I might go and have a look and see what that's all about. It's still going. Yeah, so Eype does have a beach. It was just hiding in the scenery. Ta-da! Pa-dum! Yeah, that's alright. Not stopping long. I'm all ice creamed up, so I don't even need to stop probably. Just carry on up on the other side. Big old campsite here. You ain't ninja camping if you can fit your car in your tent. Yeah. What other news was that? Oh yes, we, as in the NATO Western Allies, pulled out of Afghanistan over the space of about 7 days without telling anyone. Ending 20 years of attempted sorting shit out in failure, I suppose. So that's a thing. Everyone thinks Americans want to get out before the 20th anniversary of September the 11th bombings. So, you know, go figure. And I think Louisiana's facing 9-foot waves, which I can hardly believe. Looking at that, that's so calm. Still, we are quite far from Louisiana. So yeah, there's some historical context, Wonder Years style for you. Ooh, what's that? So is that a sloop? A dinghy. It's probably categories. There we go. There's your living landscape right there. This is all less than 8 months old, probably. Or more than 8 months, but less than 20. And there's the campsite with a hefty do not camp margin. Yeah, let's hurry along here, I think. Yeah, that's a bad sign. There's not even grass on some of that. Didn't take much at all. That stuff's a bit more stable. And then look. Ta-da! You fools. Fly, you fools. More gnats and midges. Yeah, get off. That is Journey's End. West Bay. The car's down there, half a mile or less down there somewhere. So that's Bridport then, a bit further inland, all up round the hill and stuff. And beyond, well, there's a problem for another Sunday. I think Abbotsbury is going to be where I'm trying to get to next, which is just at the start of this end of Chesil Beach. It's about 9-10 miles from West Bay, so that's doable on a Sunday. Possibly as soon as next Sunday. I'm on a roll at the moment. Any sunny Sunday I'm down here, cracking on with it. So we'll see. But anyway, we'll have a look around the town when we get down there. Coming into civilization now, as you can hear from that car alarm. Hope it's not mine. I don't know what my car alarm sounds like actually. I don't think I've ever set it off. I think I've got one. Anyway, look at that. So that cliff is actually overhanging by a small degree. Little people on the top there. And there's people calmly picnicking and windbreaking beneath it. I mean, maybe some people are just tired of life. When you're tired of West Bay, you are tired of life. Oh, the fun fair's here, look. I saw that as I was waiting for the bus this morning. The bus that was going the other way didn't turn up. There was a whole gaggle of very angry hikers plotting some sort of insurrection and mutiny. Probably unzoom before I walk. Sorry about that, everyone. You may collect your lunch now. There we go, a little bit of promenading down there. West Bay, it's quite a small place actually. I think it mainly exists as a sort of harbour for nearby Bridport. Not sure the river's navigable further up than this. So, down to the seafront. Maybe another ice cream, because, you know, time to kill and all that. And there we go. So this is West Bay. I'm on the end of the breakwater thing. And we did all that today. Which is actually a remarkably short distance. You can sort of see Lyme Regis in the distance. A bit hazy today still. And then here is next time, all along there, up to the beginning of Chesil Beach. Wow, they got sand here. That doesn't look indigenous. Working marina. Oldie style wharf houses, warehouses, whatever. And some new monstrosities. Which can't have impressed the locals. Brilliant. So, in conclusion, the secret of happiness, just be really easily impressed. See you next time.